guys, what is going on? Welcome back to my Robinhood portfolio. Again, I want to thank you all for the support on the channel. Definitely appreciate the comments, definitely appreciate the video ideas. Please keep those coming. And again, if you guys like the content, if you like the videos, feel free to like, share, and if you're so inclined, subscribing to the channel. And if you are a subscriber, please make sure to hit that bell button to get alerts on all new content posted on the channel. Today, I want to talk about Bitcoin again. As you guys know, I've been doing a series analyzing the S3 ANTMINER, a piece of Bitcoin mining hardware, to see if it's a reasonable investment. If you buy the piece of equipment, are you able to pay it off in a particular period of time? I've been going through a calculation called a Payback Period, and so far I've been very impressed with how well the S9 ANTMINER has been able to keep pace with the particular payback period. So just to briefly touch on the price of Bitcoin, you can see here it's been on absolute fire over the past year. You can see here rising from $600 to $700 to at one point over $4,700, $4,800. Did pull back a bit, but you see it here, it's rebounding nicely. Currently just under $4,400. The same can be said for Ethereum here, as well as Litecoin. And if you guys remember from my prior videos, I have quite a few Litecoins. I have 68 in cold storage. I'm thinking about maybe putting those onto the website here, onto Coinbase, and then doing a little bit of trading. The only drawback is that Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum on this particular trading app, there are lots of fees associated with converting your coins into fiat currency, into US dollars. I think at some points it will be around 5 to 6%, depending on how you're doing the funding, which accounts you're funding from and to. Can be quite expensive. So that's a big drawback with doing trading on Coinbase. There are some other trading sites, exchanges that you can do this, but unfortunately a lot of these are a little bit more sketchy than Coinbase. They're based in Eastern Europe. Don't have confidence in those particular exchanges. I do have confidence in Coinbase. A lot of you guys on the comment threads were commenting that Coinbase should not be trusted. You guys don't like Coinbase. A lot of negative comments. I can say I've had 0 negative comments, even though I've been on this website for about 4 or 5 years. In fact, you can see these Bitcoins on the bottom, just a fraction of Bitcoin, worth $10.86. I've had these on the application, not in cold storage, but really on their own exchanges for about 4 or 5 years. At one point, I had mined these, put these on Coinbase, kind of left them there, forgot about those for a couple of years, not even logging into this particular website, into this application, Coinbase. When I did log on again, they were still there. Even I didn't touch those or check on those for 3 years. Didn't even log into the account for 3 years. Coinbase did not take those coins, did not steal those coins, or however you want to term that. They were still there. So for that reason, definitely trust Coinbase. Again, not a lot of coin there, but it was still there. So for that reason and that reason alone, I do trust Coinbase. And I did do some trading in the past. They always paid me the exact amount for my coins. So it was a very good experience. So I had no negative comments, even though I've been on this application for 4 or 5 years. So having said all that, let's jump into some of the mining hardware. Again, following along with the S9 ANTMINER, but there are a lot of different pieces of equipment here. You can see here there are pieces of equipment for Litecoin, and on top here are the 3 most popular types of mining equipment here. The L3 Plus ANTMINER for Litecoin. You can see the payback period 110 days. The D3 ANTMINER for Dashcoin, 111 days, and then the S9 ANTMINER that I've been following along for a few months now, for a few weeks. Bitcoin miner, 115 days for the payback period. But you can see here there's a number of different types of miners. You can even do it from graphics cards. Here you can see that Radeon RX 480 GPU. For Ethereum, 279 days for payback period. There's the S9 ANTMINER again, 304 days for payback period. That's the older version. As I continue to scroll down here, you can see some GPU, some dedicated mining hardware. And you can see that payback period on the right there increasing. So if you buy any of these pieces of equipment for the sole purpose of investing and getting a rate of return, you can see it's pretty much not going to happen. You have to run, for example, the AMD Radeon HD 7950 for 829 consecutive days, 24 hours a day, to just pay back that initial investment of $159. So not quite worth it, and I'm not sure you're ever going to do that because this payback period can go up and down, as I have been showing with my prior videos, again, with that S9 ANTMINER. And if we go way to the bottom here, you can see there are a number of pieces of equipment, video cards that you have to mine for thousands of days. And at one point, 10,000 days. I mean, you have to mine for years. The Avalon 6.0 rig, you have to mine for 50,735 days to get a payback. So I'm not sure that's going to happen. And you can see here, you'll never get a return on your investment, unfortunately, if you buy into these pieces of equipment here. But if we go back to the top here, let's talk about the S9 ANTMINER again. Again, I've been putting out a series of videos talking about the payback period to see if this is going to be increasing at a rate faster than the number of days that have elapsed, meaning you'll never be able to pay back that particular piece of equipment. So let's go to the top here, the S9 ANTMINER. Let's go ahead and click on that to get some of the more in-depth specifics with regards to how this calculation is obtained with regards to the payback period. So again, you have your initial investment here, $1,141. Again, this is in US dollars. And then it goes through some of the calculations here. So the power watts that the piece of equipment uses when it's mining, and that takes the watts times electricity cost. They get the cost per day. How powerful is the piece of equipment to mine? So this hash rate is a fraction of the overall hash rate, and that ratio determines how many Bitcoins you make per hour, per day, per month. And that will go into a calculation that takes that amount of coin versus the current price of the coin to get returned per day. And this will go up quite dramatically or go down quite dramatically depending on the price of Bitcoin. That's why I brought up that chart prior, because when Bitcoin was peaking at $4,700 or so, that payback period went down quite dramatically to about 30 or 40 days. When the price of Bitcoin dropped to $3,500, $3,600, this payback period here went up quite considerably as well. And that's the key here. How many days are elapsing versus how many days is the payback period? So if this is increasing faster than the number of days that are elapsing, you'll never pay back this piece of equipment. So this is not a static number here. This will change, going up and down based on electricity costs. What really doesn't change, the hash rate, overall hash rate, fraction, your hash rate versus the overall hash rate, which is always increasing. So this will always be going down. The amount of Bitcoin you can mine per day from this machine is always going down because more people are mining, there's more machinery that's made, so on and so forth. But it can go up if the price of Bitcoin goes up. So that's probably one of the largest variables here is the price of Bitcoin. If the price of Bitcoin goes up, this number goes dramatically up and the payback period goes dramatically down. Vice versa, if this goes down, that means essentially that the price of Bitcoin has been going down and the payback period will go up quite substantially. Again, the key is this going up faster than the number of days elapsing? If it is, you'll never pay back this piece of equipment because it might say 114 days today, tomorrow it might say 120. Well, 1 day has elapsed, but you can see it's added on 6 more days of payback period, so you'll never be able to catch that up. At some point, you want this to be static. 114 days pass, you've paid off your equipment. Or if this goes down, after how many days it says you'll paid off the equipment, and then it really doesn't matter if this goes up. This has been paid, and as long as the power, electricity, cost per day is less than the return per day, you can essentially run this for as long as you want. Even if it's only a couple cents per day, it's still a profit because you've already paid off the piece of equipment. So again, quite impressed with the S9 ANTMINER so far, but again, a lot of this has to do with the price of Bitcoin. The first video I think was 110 days, the second video was like 122 days. But you can see it's now come down to 114 days. And again, the reason for that is the price of Bitcoin has went up from about $3,600, $3,700 to $4,400 currently, or just above $4,400 now actually. The price is just now updated to $4,438 on Coinbase. So you can see how dramatically the price of Bitcoin can change. It was just under $4,400. I think it was like $4,473. Now it's $4,438. So this will be changing as well. I think it was 115 days when I initially opened up this graph. It went down to 110, went back up to 114. So this can change quite dramatically. But I think the overall key to this video is that this is remaining fairly stable. So if you buy the piece of equipment, you mine with it for 114 days, 24/7, you'll get this paid back, and then anything extra will be return on investment. So quite pleased with that. Again, here's some other details about the calculations here, how this is all kind of configuring into the cost per day as well as the amount earned per day. Very cool website, Crypto Compare. Again, going through the S9 ANTMINER, a lot of different pieces of equipment as well for Litecoin, Ethereum, Dashcoin. There are literally hundreds of different types of coins that you can mine. But currently, the S9 ANTMINER is the best Bitcoin dedicated piece of machinery. And for the price and payback period, definitely the most investable piece of equipment. Can you make a monthly return on this? Can you make a return over its lifetime? Not quite sure about that. so far it's looking good over the past 3 to 4 weeks. This number has stayed the same, so it's definitely profitable right now. But as we continue moving forward, the overall hash rate will continue to increase. Your fractional hash rate will decrease. The return per day per coins will decrease. It's really determining whether you're going to be able to be a profitable miner or not is the price of Bitcoin. So if the price of Bitcoin goes down, I'd say no, you cannot ever get this piece of machinery paid off. If it continues to increase, even a few percent per month or per year, I think this would be obtainable. But that's not really seen yet, so it's a little bit too early to say is this a good investment or not. But I'll continue following along. I'll continue doing these videos, and we'll kind of see how this all plays out. So again, just wanted to talk about the S9 ANTMINER here. Is it profitable or not? Looks like it is. It's been holding steady with regards to the payback period. And again, let me know what you guys think about the S9 ANTMINER.